So we've moved down to my spare workshop, which I just use for storage and for my arcade machines. And we're going to do the rest of the work down here. It was really cold when I was working up in the loft, and I'm going to do painting and all the filler. And being upstairs in the cold will add just too much time. First thing I'm going to do is this under part of the control panel. So I'm just going to use some wood primer, let that dry quickly, then we'll get the vinyl put on it, and then we can get it put in the machine. So hopefully that won't take too long. While that's drying, we can get a few other bits into the cabinet as well, and then we can make some more progress on this. So let's get on with this. Hopefully being in this smaller space won't annoy me too much. This is one coat satin. No need to do an undercoat on this. It just takes a long time to dry. So I've got a cloth down to protect the carpet. I've raised the front of the cabinet up so we can get to the bottom, and I'm going to use a roller for the big areas, and then we'll use the brush for the touch up. The cabinet has been drying overnight and it still feels a little bit tacky, maybe because I put the paint on a bit thick, but I'm in no rush for this part. I've got plenty of other work to be doing, so let's leave this. Our control panel part has dried and I've given it a quick sand. Now I'm going to stick the black vinyl and trim it to size. Then we can put it into the cabinet. Okay, so this is the section that goes underneath the control panel. And I'm going to use this laminated black vinyl, which is control panel material. I only need a small part. New blade. So we go in like that. putting that film backing off. No. Oh. So let's pull that tight. So that looks okay. It's not great, but the bits that I'm not happy with you can't see. This part looks okay. Okay, the black paint is pretty much dried, so I've just given it a quick hand sand and then a blast over with a high grit on the rotary random orbital sander, and then I'm going to leave that for the moment. So here's our control panel section. I'm just going to go somewhere around there, so we just need to get the position right, and then we can drill in that way and the sides. Okay, that's the same on both sides. So you can drill in through the back to lock it onto there, and then we can drill in through the sides to bring the cabinet into shape. So these are the clips that I'm putting on. So it just needs enough room for that to go up and clip down. And that will go like that underneath the control panel. So that's the length that we need, and I can just cut it down so that it's that width, and then it won't be in the way of the internal supports. Okay, so I've cut these supports down and put them in the right place, and just realised that I wasn't recording it, so that they've just been marked underneath the control panel. Sits on the top like that. We now put in our clamps in that will lock the control panel down, and we can access it through the coin door. Okay, so now get our clamps on the inside. And again, small screws that won't go through the wood. So I'm going to put them so that they're in their lock position, and then screw it to those supports that we put in. Working in this room is no fun at all. So, we have our control panel supports, which are angled to that on both sides. We have our locks to lock the control panel down. We have the other end of the locks on the control panel. So that should go in, and in theory I should be able to get my hands underneath from the coin door and just lock that down so that it won't come up. So there we have the control panel in, the control panel locks in, this front section in with the vinyl on. Now we can screw this in through the sides and make sure that that's in securely. And I need to cut this part again. And I think that is all of the wood and all of the cabinet made. Then we can paint the black again, let that dry, and then work on the sides. I've just put in some extra screws in the sides for the monitor mounts. I've already done the other side. I think this bit's about finished. So there's just one bit left, which is this bit across the top. Okay, I've recut this, screwed it in from the sides and put one of these 3D printed brackets in the middle to stop it from dipping, and I'm just going to sand it now. There's a decent gap across the back. I think I'll have to fill that in. So I've got my wood filler. I'm just going to push some into this gap. Okay, we have to let that dry. Wood filler is drying. I'm going to paint the areas that I can, but I just want to put some masking tape on the control panel section that we just put in. And the reason that I've done it, put this in now and then masked it off, is because I knew that this paint wouldn't be completely dry and I would scuff these side parts as I was putting that in. So if we painted it and used it as an undercoat and then sanded it, put this in, and now we can paint over the top and it will be okay, it will look neat and tidy. Okay, so we'll let that dry and then call it a day. It's the next day. My second coat of the satin black has dried. It's not perfect, but it's okay. I don't think I'm going to do another coat on the front, but I might do on the sides. There's just a few parts where it's a little thin, and I need to do the back and the top anyway, since I filled that in. So we can do, we can sand that top and we can do another coat on the back and those bits on the front.